Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Friday. Wow. Friday, the 28th of October, 2022. Pretty cool. What a day. Seriously, what a day. For all these reasons. Let's start talking about those reasons. Number one, my new TV arrived, and it's pretty damn cool. Just to give you guys a little bit of idea, because everyone's been asking me all day about how well it's working. I think it's the Sony X90J is the model or something like that. Bravia TV, 50 inches. Played Call of Duty on the first stream. Rusty, using default loadouts, nothing unlocked, winning free-for-all matches. First free-for-all match I played, got second place. Second free-for-all match I played, I won it. By a margin, too. It was like 4 or 5 kills. I was doing really well, I mean, for what I was doing. The thing is, some of the maps I'm playing on, you know, these are the maps that were not in the beta, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So one of them was, like, really confusing. But I was doing pretty darn good in the game. And I can tell you, response time, oh my god. This is probably the most responsive television I've ever owned. Outside of, you know, tube TVs used to be really responsive back in the day. Or a gaming monitor. Like you know, I've played Street Fighter on gaming monitors that were, like, instant. And this is very close. It's that good of a TV. Colors are really nice. Like, for example, on some of the stages, there's the one set in, like, Mexico, and it has all this spray paint and stuff on the walls. Oh, it, like, popped. The colors were popping and everything. And since I turned all the effects off, no motion blur, no bullshit, and I turned all the Sony effects off on the TV, I mean, it was really responsive and really nice. So, this TV, I think, is going to work out really well. You know what I'm really excited? For when I play fighting games on it. Like, if I play, like Street Fighter 6 and stuff on it, I think it might actually help my game a lot to have, you know, a really good response time, which it seems like I'm going to have with this TV. So, TV arrived during the podcast. I set it up live. If you didn't see the podcast this morning, give it a look. Also on the podcast, I talked about my day off, of course. I talked about the upcoming games this weekend. I talked about Halloween event coming out on Monday, which is going to be very exciting. There's a lot of news today. A lot of news about games and Twitter and all kinds of shit. So it was a very loaded 2-hour podcast. If you didn't see it yet, give it a look. It was a very entertaining show. I really enjoyed doing it because there was so much going on. As for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I didn't have a full stream to play it because I had taken up so much with the podcast. There's not much I could do about that. It was just such a busy day with the TV showing up and everything. You know, I can't avoid that. So I played about 2.5 hours of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And here's the thing. I like it. Okay, I'm having a good time with it. But some odd things. Odd thing number one, it seems the game has missing features. Yeah, it's a little odd. Like, for example, when I was playing the beta, there was all these modes. Like, there was a streamer mode that protected the names of the people in the match. Like, you could have it have different names. So that way, if someone's trying to stream snipe, they can't just try to join the game through one of the other people playing and stream snipe you. It's not in the game. It was in the beta, but it's not in the final game. Why not? That is, like, I'm really scratching my head about that one. I'm like, that is so confusing. Why is it missing? I don't know. There's a few other things, too. People were like, yeah, this is missing, but they were in the beta. So how do you release the final game with less features than the beta? I'm at a loss. It's like they released the wrong version of the game or something. The other thing that's really annoying, in the beta, okay, you had a lot of things unlocked relatively early that were really cool, like the decoy. I really enjoyed using the decoy in the beta. The decoy doesn't get unlocked till like level 40-something. So, just to give you some perspective, I played for 2.5 hours and I'm like level 9. So, can you imagine? It's probably going to take me like 5-6 sessions, if not more, to try to get to that level and get the decoy. I mean, it's something to work towards, I guess. But it's kind of like when you were playing the beta and you had all these cool things and now you have to wait to get them in the full game. You have to, like, grind. It's like, why did they change the order? Someone made a good point. They said, you know, maybe in the beta, they were using it as an opportunity to test things and see how balanced they were. And so they wanted to give you something that was a longer down the road item to test it in the beta and see if people liked it and if they thought it was broken or whatever. So maybe that's why it takes so long to get. I don't know. But it was fun. I like some of the new maps. I don't like one of the new maps. One of the new maps was really frustrating. It was, like, insanely huge. With, like, these insane amount of corridors and levels. Like, geez, man. You can't even find anyone. They're, like, running in circles for 4 minutes and you just die. Like, fuck. But some of the other maps are pretty good. So far I like it. But I really feel like I barely played. Like, I unlocked the custom loadout. And I was just leveling up to M4 enough where if I play one more session, I should unlock the next two. I think it's the FAL, F-A-L, which is the single shot assault rifle. And then I think there's an SMG that you unlock, the Icarus or something like that, if you level up to M4 enough. So I'm like getting there, and I'm excited to start using a new weapon, but I have to get there first. So that's what we're gonna focus on when I play again tomorrow. Is more multiplayer, actually playing the full 3 hours this time. Hopefully getting some unlocks, some good kills, and going from there. I didn't do bad today, but I definitely got my ass handed to me a few times when I didn't know what was going on with a map or something. But then there were some pretty good ones too, with good kill streaks and stuff too. Okay. So that was the first stream. And by the way, support was outstanding. I mean, yes, we had someone do a $100 tip, but outside of that, people just kept contributing. So it was a really good first stream in regards to support, okay? The late stream was Resident Evil 8, or Resident Evil Villages DLC, which features many different things. It has the new reverse mode. It has a third-person mode for the main game, but the primary focus for me is the story, and which is called Shadows of Rose. This is supposed to be the DLC that follows up with Rose when she's grown up, like 16 plus years later after the events of Resident Evil Village. It's supposed to be the epilogue to the whole Winters family storyline until they head into something new for the next game. So I'm excited for it, and we're playing it, and I like it. It's very dark at first. I'll be honest with you, it's a little disappointing that the entirety of this DLC takes place in the areas you've already been in the game. Like, so far, I've been literally nowhere new. It's just, oh, you're in the Lady D's castle, and you're going through all these different places in the castle, and now I'm not sure where, because we just got teleported somewhere else, and I think we're in a different part of the castle, and I don't know how much is left if you go anywhere else outside of the castle, but it's kind of like, I already did Lady D's castle, you know, in the game. It kind of sucks to see that stuff rehashed. At the same time, it's still fun. The gameplay is survival horror. The bullets barely do anything to the enemies, which is fun, actually, I think, because it makes it feel like way more desperate. Then you get some powers that make it, you know, a little bit more manageable. So you just freeze the enemies and run by them rather than worrying about killing them. Typical Resident Evil stuff, find the key with the eyeballs on it. Solve the puzzle by putting the paintings in the right order. You know, get the different metal masks and put them on a statue. Very typical Resident Evil stuff. The one weird thing, so I played it for 2 hours, alright? In the 2 hours I played it, I have absolutely no idea where the plot's going, or what even the point of the DLC is. Like, Rose enters the mold because she wants to secure her powers. And so this guy who she's with tells her, well, the cure might be in there. So she just goes in, and that's it. And all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. You don't know why, you don't know what's going on. Like, for example, this is a very early spoiler, and it was in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler. The guy who was the vendor from Resident Evil 8, who was your friend the whole game, he helped you. And even at the end of the game, Ethan asks, why are you helping me? And the guy's like, I got my reasons, but he won't tell you why. He's trying to kill Rose the whole time. Why? He was good in the main game. There's no explanation. I'm 2 hours in. Supposedly, the DLC is only 3 to 4 hours long, and that's if you take your time. So I might even beat it in like 3 hours. You know, they're running out of time to get answers. You know what I mean? Also, one annoyance, I'll be honest, all the enemies are mold men, which is, I guess, okay for the plot, but it's not necessarily the most fun thing. You know, Resident Evil 8 really excelled because it had a wide variety of enemies. You had werewolves, you had vampires, you had ghosts, you had mold men and zombies, you had all kinds of stuff coming at you, right? Mutations. This is literally different mold men, just mold men, mold men, mold men. Jeez, they love their mold man, you know? Now, it seems to me that the pattern for DLCs continued, and here's the pattern for DLCs for me. If it's Dark Souls or a Soulsborne game, or if it's in line with a playthrough that people wanted to see, and the DLCs were pretty synonymous with the playthrough. So I'll give you an example. Obviously, the Bloodborne DLCs, any of the Dark Souls DLCs, those usually do well when it's a DLC. People will come and watch and support. If I'm doing a full playthrough of Skyrim, like I did earlier this year, or I do a full playthrough of Fallout New Vegas, like I did last year, I'd play the DLCs as part of the big ongoing playthrough. People like it and will support it. But for some weird reason, whenever I do a DLC like this, okay, people say they're interested, they really want it, and then when I play it, not as many people really seem as interested as they were, and I get almost no support for it. This is infamous when I play DLCs. It happened again tonight. Like, attendance was pretty good. We had almost 400 viewers at one point. Then it dipped down to about 300 again. People were engaged. We got tons of likes. But just to give you perspective here, I made $30 tonight on the Resident Evil 8 DLC stream. Alright? I do better on a Disney Dreamlight Valley or a Bassmaster stream. Whoa. You know, those are chill night streams that have been ongoing for months. I'm doing better on those streams than I did for a new release. That's weird. I don't know what happened. But again, this seems to happen every single time I do a DLC, that the interest isn't there, even though people claim it will be. So, it is what it is. The good news is, we're almost done with it. Here's the schedule for tomorrow. More Modern Warfare 2 on the first stream. Full 3-hour stream of multiplayer so I can get better into it. Hopefully, I will start unlocking new guns that I want to try. And tomorrow night will be the conclusion of the story of the Resident Evil 8 Shadows of Rose DLC. Hopefully we'll actually get story. What I mean is, you know, it's been all gameplay and really no story elaboration. I hope we actually get, like, concrete story elaboration of what the hell is going on. Like, why is this guy the villain? You know, what is happening? I would love for that tomorrow night. Now, there is more to the DLC. There's actually the reverse mode, which we did figure out and I downloaded. I would like to try that, too, this week. But we'll see how things go. I would hope that tomorrow I'll get some more support on the Resident Evil DLC stream. I guess we'll see, but, you know, you never know with these things. You really don't. So overall, today was not bad at all. I had a great day, you know, good new TV. It's working out. It's looking great. It's performing well. I think actually it's great response time for games like Call of Duty and probably fighting games. And overall support was good. So I hope that we can keep that pattern up tomorrow. All right, guys? All right, thank you so much. It's Phil for the Daily Wrap signing off. Please have a good evening. See you in the morning for the Level 1 podcast. Peace out.